Masachika, I'm starting with you. You've been working on the Resident Evil franchise at Capcom for a very long time. What do you think it is about this world and these characters that has resonated with so many people around the world for so long?
非常に皆さんのすごいファンの方々のですね、キャラクターを愛してくれるそのパッションっていうのが長く続いていることっていうのがですね、すごくいい効果を生み出しているんではないかなというふうに思ってます。
It's very much thanks to your fan-based passion that made us continue this franchise. Yeah.
20年やはり20年以上30年近く、このキャラクターたちが愛されている理由っていうのはやはりファンの方々がこのキャラクターをすごく大切にしてくれているからだと思ってます。
So it's been almost like 3 decades, and it's thanks to the fans loving all the characters.
One of the things, though, you have a great responsibility to make sure that the franchise doesn't go off the rails. Can you talk about the responsibility you feel to, maintain the quality and to take care of these characters?
バイオハザードシリーズっていうのは長く続いているだけではなく、例えばゲームだとそのゲームシステムもですね、都度バージョンアップしていったり、やっぱシステムの見直しっていうのを行うんですけれども、やっぱりファンの方々もすごく長く愛してくれているので、簡単にいろんな変更っていうのはできないんですね。でもそれを我々はすごく、いろんな試行錯誤をしながら、かつやはりゲームだと新しい技術っていうものも求められますんで、そういったものをいかにお客様にプレイヤーに喜んでもらえるようにリリースできるのか、そしてファンと共にですね一緒に年を取ってきているそのキャラクターっていうのを愛し続けてもらえるのかっていうことを常に気をつけながらゲームを制作していますし、バイオハザードっていう IP をすごく大切にして我々は制作っていうものに関わってきているのかなというふうに感じてます。
So the game series been continuing long, but also the game system's been advancing so much. So the technology has been advancing, and they had to update all the time. But while updating, so Capcom's been trying to renovate and innovate things, and to continue doing the franchise. Now, I'm forgetting what he said, but but in any case, what did you say? 後半は何でしたっけ？
キャラクターも年を取ってきてるんですけど。
So the characters been aging too, but you guys are like aging together, and it's the franchise been continuing very long. Sorry, it's not a good translation.
Makoto, I'm curious, can you talk a little bit about how you came up with the story and setting for this film, and whose decision was it to include all the characters, because you include so many key characters from the franchise?
First, I can't speak English, sorry. But I love Resident Evil and this game fans. Thank you. で、クエスチョン、アンサー。ここからはジャパニーズ。なぜこの5人がっていうことなんですけど、やっぱり長い間 CG の映画シリーズもやってきて、集大成的なものをっていう思いがスタッフの間でありました。
So the series has been like sustained so long, and then we wanted to have like a big climax now here.
You co-wrote the last film of, I believe, Vendetta. What did you learn writing that you wanted to apply to this one?
自分がベンデッタから学んだことは、やっぱりもっと笑いを増やしたい。今回も見た後ももっと笑いを増やしたいと思った。それが反省点、学んだことです。
So he think Vendetta didn't have enough jokes, so he increased more jokes, but I think it was not enough. Even this one, so he wants to do more next time.
それはあれですよね。恐怖を維持してっていうこと
もちろん
込みですね。
そうですね。Of course, still keeping the horror element, the scare of it.
でもアクションも増えてってますからね。
Not just comedy, and action. Yes. Not just a pure comedy. Yeah.
I didn't think you were trying to make a comedy. I didn't get that vibe. Matt, I'm going to ask you. You've been working. What do you love about actually the world of Resident Evil and being able to voice this character? Because as I said earlier, this is a franchise that means so much to so many people.
I mean, I grew up with Resident Evil. I remember coming home from high school and playing the first one for the PlayStation over at a friend's house. And so being a person that loved each of these games and then to be able to take on the mantle of Leon S. Kennedy was a huge honor, and to work with so many wonderful people to bring these stories to life and to bring my personal flavor while playing homage to what came before me has been just something that I will carry with me the rest of my life. So it means a lot to me, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm excited to see all the classic people that continue to bring the story to life, all the new voices that come up to bring it to life, the people that I have the honor to pass the torch on to. All in all, I'm very thankful and very grateful to have been a part of this. So it means a lot to me.
Nicole, same thing for you. What does it mean to be part of this world that means so much to so many people and being able to voice Jill?
I mean, it's an absolute unbelievable pleasure. It's a dream come true and a joy. Such an iconic character for so long. So really, same, getting to kind of step into the shoes of someone that's been portrayed for so many years and kind of bring myself and my iteration with the trust of an amazing team that brings it to life. It's just truly a pleasure. And the fans are unreal. They're just amazing. The number of stories that I've heard from multi-generational fans of like what these characters mean to them is so special. I get access to stories and people in a way that I never thought. You know, you kind of do the work and then it comes back to you in ways that are really unexpected and beautiful. So I'm very grateful.
Internationally, too.
Yes.
There are a few franchises I've been a part of that have such a worldwide reach as Resident Evil. People from all over the world engage with this story and these characters. It's incredible.
Another question for the two of you. What do you think would surprise Resident Evil fans to learn about the voice recording of a Resident Evil movie like this?
Ooh.
What you got?
What would surprise you?
I'm curious.
I mean, I don't know how surprising this would be, but we have a lot of fun. And especially when you script jokes into it, but we make a lot of jokes as well. And I think anytime you're working in horror genre as well, people that are doing really scary stuff tend to have the most fun on set because the more intense it ends up looking in the end, the more ridiculous it looks when we shoot it or when we record it, because we're, you know, either screaming in a soundproof room or wearing ridiculous suits or something. So they really do all of the magic. We just get to show up and have fun.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a lot of silly bloopers that we get to experience in the booth. And I guess one thing you might find interesting if you aren't aware, a lot of the combat scenes in here, we're making every grunt, every impact sound, every pain reaction, which is a very physically taxing experience you may not understand. So many of us are very sweaty, very exhausted, and very terrifying people to be around by the time we finish a lot of these recording sessions. Just, are we good? Are we done? Are we finished?
And
Great.
the breathing. No one realizes, like, every time Jill's like checking out all the things in every room, we sat there and breathed for minutes on end.
Tension.
Scene.
What's funny is recording those efforts. I don't think people realize. Do they make you wait till the end of the day to do those efforts, or is it first thing in the morning?
I think it depends on how big the excerpts are.
Yeah, it really depends. I think it depends on the actor. Sometimes they're like, do you want to do it first or do you want to do it later? I'm like, how hard do we have to die or fall or shoot or something?
Yeah, if it's screaming on fire for 3 minutes, they'll be like, let's save it at the end. They'll do it at the end. Yeah. But yeah, the gentle breathing or holding your breath, we can do that first.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll start with that one. That'd be easy.
Eiichirô, this is a question for you. One of the things about this is you get to play with all these characters that mean so much to so many people. What were the challenges during the production of making sure everyone had screen time and making sure it honored the franchise?
やっぱりメイン5人が出てくるので、とにかく上映前にも言いましたけど、お祭り感、ファンがそれぞれ好きなキャラクターがいると思うんで、その人たちが見て、これが見たかったジルだ、これが見たかったレオンだってなるようなことを目指しました。
So this is, of course, the five characters all get together, and then he wanted to make sure that because each character have each fan base, so each fan got to sort of enjoy this movie. So he made sure that each character stands out.
One of the things about the Resident Evil franchise is people love the creatures and the monsters. So how did you come up with the creatures for this film? And specifically, without spoilers, in the third act, there's a big monster. So talk a little bit about coming up with this.
サメの B.O.W と、ディランの、合体したクリーチャーなので、ヒレがあったり質感サメの肌感と人間の顔があったりっていうデザインは早めに決まったんですけど、やっぱりその5人が対峙した時の大きさっていうものが、割と最後の方までこうそこはステージにもかかってくるんで、武器庫であるステージの大きさと、そのクリーチャーが暴れることによってこうステージが崩落してくる演出にしたかったので、その辺のサイズ感っていうのは結構同時進行でアクションを決めていくのと同時に武器庫の大きさも決めていくみたいな感じで作っていきました。
So the last creatures, the B.O.W, the shark that fuses with Dylan, that one, the design was already in the early stage where it's kind of like set with the fin and the kind of creepy skin like the shark. But then the size was something that they were struggling and like looking into because the whole set of that armory, like, you have to decide the size of the armory and you have to decide how these ceilings falls off, that kind of stuff. So the sizes were like changing all the time, and it became kind of bigger than expected, actually.
I'm going to ask you a follow-up. There's always a shot or two or a sequence that directors, I've heard, go back to repeatedly because they're just not 100% happy. Which was the scene or sequence that you spent extra time on because you wanted it to be perfect?
そうですね。僕は普段実写の映画を監督しているので、こういうフル CG アニメっていうのは実は前作の、インフィニット・ダークネスからまだ2本目なんですけど、そういう意味ではモーションキャプチャーのアクターだったり、スタッフたち CG のスタッフたちとやっぱりこう一緒にこう作ってる中でみんなのアイデアが出てきて形にしていくっていうのが好きなので、そういう意味ではそういう部分がいっぱいあるんですけど。
So the thing is, he's mainly a live action director, and this is only the second time to do CG animate since Infinite Darkness. But the way he wants to work with is like motion capture actors and the crew, kind of like he wants to build the whole movie together and work together to build certain scenes. So he wants to say that probably it worked well with the ensemble sort of effort.
でやっぱり実写だと実写と違うところっていうのがフル CG の場合ってやっぱり物の形が変わるっていうのにものすごく時間とこうコストがかかるので、物を食べるシーンとかっていうのは極力避けてほしいっていうのはまず最初にプロデューサーから言われたのと、あとは水はとにかく使うなというふうに言われてたんですけど、今回クリーチャーが水から出てくるんで、出た後は絶対にもう中に入っちゃダメよって言われてました。
There are two difficult things to do in CGI. One is somebody eating something. That seems very difficult. And the other thing is whatever with water, inside water, that kind of stuff. And so he was told not to do that, but he saw it. We did it.
で、ただそれでもうその約束をちゃんと守って作ってたんですけど、最後の仕上げの本当に最後の1ヶ月ぐらいの時に逆に CG スタッフの方からやっぱりこれ最後水に飛び込まないと盛り上がらないんじゃないかっていう話が来て、今の見ていただいた形になったので、そういう意味では本当にスタッフみんなが、あとこうコストを管理するプロデューサーもなんでしょうね、最後の最後まで出し切って楽しんでもらいたいって思いで作って完成した感じです。
So he was first listening to the producer and not spending the money and not doing the water scene, but actually the art directors and the staff really wanted to do. So they decided to go for it and had to convince the producer, which is me, to do it. So it worked well, yes.
I have a question for you then. What is it like when filmmakers come to you with something like that, when you know this is going to cost money to do because this, what is that like? What is that conversation
Am
like?
I supposed to comment that?
Yeah. Yes. I'm bringing you in.
I mean, I generally say yes, but in general, as long as I'm able to convince my big boss, yes, yeah. That's all it is.
Sure. This is a question for everyone who wants to answer. There have been many Resident Evil games. Which is your personal favorite and why? And this is whoever wants to answer.
リメイク4がベスト。
For Mr. Fukami, it's Resident Evil 4 remake, yes, is the best.
もう自分にとってはゲームすることもワークになりましたおかげで。
So doing the playing the game is actually work for him, so it's perfect, yeah.
僕は自分でも制作したんですけれども、レジデント・イーブル・ビレッジが一番気に入ってます。
So he made himself, but he loves the village, yeah. I guess. Hasumi-san doesn't want to comment because he
Makes all of them. I just finished RE4 remake and it was amazing. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. But I have to say I'm pretty biased to the ones that I'm in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the original 4 for the GameCube was the one that kind of really solidified the entire franchise for me. I love them all, but at 4 I was like, this is really a movement in gaming. And then the remake even just elevated it even further. So yeah, kind of with you on that.
What do you think it is though that pulls so many people in, because it's so popular and it's been so popular for so long?
I think it's a testament to the fact that it kind of adjusted the mood of what was expected of the classic kind of survival horror genre. It really kind of paid a deeper attention to the solitary storytelling of a character in a place they're unfamiliar with a number of unique twists on the classic kind of virus zombie storytelling, and some great gameplay mechanics. Like it really brought a lot of things that were fresh to a genre that everyone was kind of contemplating how it was going to stay unique and fresh. And then the remake just continued to elevate it on every level, from cinematics to improved gameplay to treating the storytelling with so much respect. And yeah, I can go on for a while, but yeah, I think those are a handful of the examples.
Masachika, I'm not sure if you will answer this or what you can say, but there's a lot of Resident Evil fans in this audience. What can you tease besides this movie for the future of Resident Evil, whether it be in TV, movies, video games? What would you like to tease? As everyone looks.
詳細に答えるとまた長くなるんで困りますよね。
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer the detail because I can't translate, but he's going to answer some.
はい、バイオハザードも長く続いてきてですね、もう何年かしたらまた30周年っていう節目を迎えますんで、それまでにいろいろな今計画を立てているところですんで、何年後かに皆さんにもっともっと面白いもの、もっと期待できるものっていうのを発表できるようになればいいなというふうに今は考えているところです。
So the franchise is gonna have the 30th birthday probably like in 26, right?
30周年。
Yeah. So 30th, yeah. So basically, he's planning a lot of stuff, but you have to look forward to it within a few years time frame. But that's all he can say.
I think that's a very nice tease to let people know that you guys are planning some cool stuff for the 30th anniversary.
はい。皆さんが喜んでくれることをいろいろ企画したいなと思ってます。
He's planning whatever that's going to please you.
詳細は教えられません。
Details are secret.
Thank you for indulging that. I want to make sure if there's anyone in the audience who has a question that they can ask, or I can continue. Does anyone have any questions? I see a hand right there.
My question is for Mr. Mercer. So, in an interview, you said you were incredibly excited and there was at the peak of your career when you got cast for Resident Evil 6 to play Leon. Coming back later, after the explosion of Critical Role and getting into all these other characters over the years that so many people love, what challenges, if any, did you face reprising that role and getting back into this character?
It's a good question. Leon, in stepping into the role of Leon, really was a shift in trajectory for my career. I think it brought not just like attention to me as a performer, but it gave me an opportunity to be part of something that was very important to me as a gamer, as a person that loves these stories and these games. So all these years, it's been a wonderful experience to step into these shoes every chance I have. As the years have gone on and other projects have grown and become their own unique behemoths, this series and this character has always meant something very, very dear to me. And to be perfectly honest, when I passed the torch on to Nick and watched the remakes just become something even more incredible as it goes on, I never expected to come back. I thought that was over. And trying not to be emotional, I was very surprised and excited at the opportunity to step back into these shoes another time. And so I say the challenges for me are ensuring that I am both playing respect and homage to what I've had the opportunity to present before, to the people that came before me, and to those who have come after me. And just kind of, enjoy the time that I have with this to bring whatever flavor I can to this and specific kind of joy I hope people can take out of this, and to have the opportunity to work with so many wonderful people, both on the production side, on the cast, and everything beyond. So the challenge is just ensuring that I can enjoy the moment as much as I can.
Does anyone else have any questions, or would you like me to continue? I think I see a hand over there.
Tompkins, how is it for you to come in as Jill in Resident Evil 3, but then to come back in Dead Island, which is so far removed from that storyline today? We haven't seen her since Resident Evil 5 and caught up with the story. How is it for you to be in such a pivotal moment for Jill's journey, and then to come back and add so much character, so much add that history that's happened between now and then, for you to, show everyone again after so long?
Yeah, thanks. It's a great question, and honestly so special and very, very cool, because obviously when I'm stepping into RE3, she's already got PTSD and struggling from the trauma from the mansion incident and her training and everything that came before, but she's still relatively in the beginning of her journey in so many ways. So, jumping into that was its own fun challenge. So then getting to come see her almost present day so much later after all of the other stuff that she's been through with Wesker and the mind control and everything else. It was a unique challenge, but it really was kind of like the actor's journey of just doing my research, where are we at? What's happened? What would still be influencing her at this moment? And then obviously I'm just surrounded by a team that is incredibly supportive to be like, this detail. And so kind of culminating all of those things and going, okay, great. Well, given everything that she's been through and what she's looking at, this story in so many ways is looking at Jill still coping with trauma. Well, not well, up for you to decide, but it's really beautiful to watch her kind of reintegrate with this team. So it was really special because I got to come to this with even more history and more depth of everything that this character has been through throughout her entire existence. So that's so special for me.
I have a question for the filmmakers, if I can just do something real quick. One of the things I'm curious about for the Resident Evil franchise in a movie like this, in America, oftentimes there's so many committees that are involved in making decisions for an IP that's incredibly popular. So I'm just curious, for you guys, what is it like behind the scenes in terms of when you're writing a screenplay? How many people do you have to appease? What is it like behind the scenes, and how much freedom do you have to, do what you want to do? If I can ask this.
なかなか難しい質問ですよね。
It's a difficult question for him and me too, by the way.
でもいろんな体制っていうのはあったと思うんですけれども、やっぱりお客様に喜んでもらいたいっていう気持ちはすごく強かったと思いますし、今回それは100点とは言わないですけど、満点とは言わないですけれども、ある程度やっぱ達成できてるんじゃないかなっていうふうに僕は感じてます。
So the answer is, it's a big struggle, of course, and there's a lot of things to do. But this time, I think we could do a great job, 100% actually, to like have everybody agree and then please you guys. So he didn't mention how many people, but everybody was agreeing. That's
結構開発は自由とは言わないですけれども、深見さんと監督の思う通りには動けたんじゃないかなと思いますけど、いかがでしたか？
From Capcom's point of view, he thinks like Fukami-san and Hasumi-san, they could do their own thing and didn't really control, but he's asking whether it was true or not.
プロデューサー陣は自由にさせてくれて、しかもたくさんのお金を持ってきてくれる。で、
I don't want to translate.
でしかも蓮見監督との脚本打ち合わせは常に建設的で、もうこんな理想的な職場はなかったです。
He says the producers were saying all the time, okay, brought a lot of money and was having fun with Hasumi-san. That's what he says. I guess I have to change my, mindset.
もうすごくこのシリーズを初めてやった時から感じてるんですけど、ゲームと地続きなキャラクターとなんて言うんでしょうね、年表がしっかりしてるというか、どの時代を描いてもそこで誰と誰が合ってるのかっていうのがしっかりとつながっているので、そういう意味では長くやってるファンもがっかりさせないようにするっていうそのルールだけは厳格でした。
There's a sort of handbook with all these like timing and what's happened, like a long history of Resident Evil. So they were like consulting that with Capcom. So it was kind of like actually easy to make this legitimate sort of canon to the game. So because there was a sort of a long, how do you call it?
Like a Bible.
Bible, yeah.
でもそういう意味では本当にそこは厳格なルールなんですけど、一番はファンを楽しませたいって思いが関わってる人全員にあるので、そういう意味ではなんだろうな、制約があるっていうイメージは全くないですね。
But it was unanimous that everybody wanted to please the fan base, so there wasn't really a constraint in that case. It just everybody knew where to look for and what to go for.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to rock the boat. I was just curious what it's like behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to, you know what I mean. So listen, I think we're basically out of time, but can we do one more? Do you have a question?
I do, as long as we have time.
Yeah, we have time. Let's do it.
I've got a question for all of you because you've all got experience in entertainment business. I'd love to hear your thoughts in general on adaptations because there's a lot of that going around. And specifically, what interests me is like from one medium to the other, because your perspective and your focus is changing. And I was wondering if, in general, any of you have any thoughts and what kind of decisions go into changing from one medium to the other. This says specifically video game, first-person perspective, but unfocused because you can go anywhere, to a film where it's second person because the audience is second person, but forced perspective where you're railroading along the story. And any thoughts or decisions that are interesting that you have to make in that translation.
Good question. Thank you.
自分がまず最初にこの質問はとても難しくて語り始めたら何日もかかる。
It's such a difficult question that it's gonna take days to actually explain to you.
An art form.
because なぜならやっぱり最終的にそれはもう映画とは何かっていう話になってくる。
That goes back to what is a movie actually. Almost like.
そうですね。ゲームっていうのはやっぱり体感性っていうのがすごく重要だと思ってます。
So game is important that you actually experience with yourself.
映画っていうのはやっぱり自分が見て受ける感動であったり、そういったものを大切にされているメディアだと思いますんで、そこが大きな違いなんですけれども、やっぱり体感性っていうのをいかに 映画と同じようにこう感動として持っていくのかということになると、またこれもだいぶ長いこと喋らないといけなくなると思いますんで難しいと思ってます。
Whereas movies receiving a lot of emotional things and emotional information that you get in the emotion, it's still experience, but it's in a different way. It's more receptive now. If we start talking about, like how you can transform each other, that's a long story. But then again, we're trying to have these two media sort of like approach. That's what I think is what he said.
僕はそうですね、小説であれゲームであれ何か漫画であれ原作であるものを映画化したりする時っていうのはやっぱりこうそれぞれが個々で見てたもの感じたものってのはもちろん違うと思うんですけど、やっぱり映像になるってことは同時にこう体験できる。特に映画とかはこうやって大勢の人と一緒に人を誘って見れるっていうところで言うとできるだけそういうものにしたいっていうのと、あと大事なのはそれを見た後にまたそこに帰れるもの、そこに戻ってきてまた戻って楽しめるものになるといいなと思ってるんで、この作品もそういう意味では今日見ていただいた後にまたゲームに戻ってもいいし、過去作品もいくらでもやっぱあるんで、そうやって楽しんでこうぐるぐる回ってほしいなっていう、その輪の一員に作品がなれるといいなと思ってます。
So sort of like game or manga, it's kind of like one personal experience, whereas movie, like you gathered here, it's kind of a sharing experience. And you think it's something that is, like everybody can share. You're a gamer, but you watch this movie, but after enjoying this movie together, then you can actually go back to the game yourself. But it's more of a sharing experience. That's what he thinks it is.
And on that note, I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending our screening tonight. And thank you, a round of applause for all the people here that worked on Resident Evil Death Island. And if you're on social media and you enjoyed the movie, please say something.